All right, beefs are going. Countdown's begun. We got that tweet out on Twitter. Guys, do me a favor if you're on Twitter. Hit that retweet button. Share with everybody else about the grand finals hitting up right now as it is Nerchio versus ShoWTimE. Probably the two best foreigners in Europe, like of each of their respective races, but you can make arguments, a lot of arguments for and against that. Regardless, though, it's only a best of 5, so it is still a pretty grueling matchup. In the bottom right, we have the Red Zerg player from Euronics Gaming, Nerchio, with his opponent in the top left, the German Protoss. Wait, did I call Nerchio Protoss? Shit. Zerg? Yeah, I don't remember what I did, but it's the German Protoss, the blue ShoWTimE. Damn it. Ruined, because I don't have short-term memory. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. What's the Duddles? So you donate like $35, you get a discount over $50. How's that work? Okay, no. So Duddles, if you're on the Match Arena page that I had linked, because I did publish this a little bit early, and you guys are looking for specifically the DreamHack tickets that I was talking about earlier, if you just go down to the rewards and purchase the DreamHack ticket, right? So the 3-day general admission ticket is $38.62. That is already 20% cheaper than what you bought on the website. And by purchasing that, half of that will go towards the prize pool, and half of that will go towards a different prize pool. But both of them go towards StarCraft 2 prize pool. So, woo! Buy your tickets through Match Arena, guys. Or just bookmark it and buy them later. Honestly, that reward is gonna be listed for every Match Arena event we do leading up to DreamHack. So we'll be advertising the crap out of it, and you will not have a problem getting tickets for cheaper than on the website. That much is for sure. But anyways, Corsair Cup, sponsored by Corsair. Without them, we couldn't make this happen, guys. $100 a week, every single week, almost 2 years running at this point. Make sure to give them some love, whether it's just following them on Twitter, tweeting about the fact that you're enjoying the tournament, or buying their gear. Make sure you do it through the affiliate links down below so we get credit. And, of course, the other half of this is Twitch. Without them, this $400 monthly final would not be possible. And this would just be another boring, old $100 weekly. Who cares? Snooty, tooty, fruity. So, again, big thank you to Twitch. If you guys want to support us through Twitch, cheering with bits, Twitch Prime subs, regular subs, you name it, all the best ways to support both us and Twitch. Do appreciate it. But, hey, we do have quite the dynamic with these two. I did go look up the stats, by the way. And when Nerchio and ShoWTimE play, ShoWTimE wins a lot. Nerchio doesn't exactly have a losing record versus Protoss, I think, in a general statement. But when you go look up his stats, like, it really is, it's easy to see how he might get tilted at the matchup. A lot of close series when it comes to that, too. But not that last one. He took that away from Mana pretty well with the 3-0. And I think his playstyle is, I guess, a little bit less brute forcey than we were watching with Bly. And with that extra finesse might just be the difference of beating or breaking a Protoss. However, all of this mumbo jumbo and jargon aside, I think ShoWTimE is still like the pillar of strength here. We've talked about it before. He's won 3 Corsair Cup champions in a row. The last 3 season finals have all gone to him. And one of the really cool benefits to winning the season finals is, like, you'll get the $200. That's a big prize pot right there. Awesome. That's cash. Money, money, money. But you also get points to be seeded into the next season, so you don't actually have to grind anything out. However, as much as I do like to advertise that, this will be the one time that doesn't necessarily apply. Because once again, because we're so time constrained for June, we've changed the format for the Corsair Cup in June, and it's going to be an invite-only tournament. So, that monthly final winner will matter. This one is just the cash prize. If I end up going to DreamHack Atlanta, I'd like a fresh high five, though. Dude, I'm all about that high five life. Come at me, bro. We'll do high fives, low fives, 2 slows, you name it. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Some of those. Squeeze in. Handshakes, whatever. Anyways. Let's just go for the fast +1 melee. I really like this move, actually, and it has very little to do with me caring whether it, like, you know, becomes +2 to kill the probes in one shot or this, that, and the other. But it's just +1 lings with a surround can kill adepts so efficiently. And with that 10 health shaved off of them, you really saw how big of a difference this made early into the patch. But nowadays, it's still just all around pretty good to make. The Oracle's going to wrap around the right side of the map for ShoWTimE, who's, again, played one style of build this whole tournament. And it's worked out well for him. Obviously making it here to the finals with it. Please go to Denver, DreamHack. I got a huge group of friends that would go and BYOC. Husky, man, I got to tell you, I can't promise you anything. Like I said, we're going to see how Atlanta goes first. Partnering with DreamHack is a really cool, awesome milestone, but it's also like scary because we've never done it before. You know, maybe their rules are too strict for us, or maybe, again, something goes wrong. I don't know, right? We have to... This is a lot of money we're hedging our bets on for this, and I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to it. Only positive things. Only positive thinking. So we'll see how Atlanta goes, and then we'll make announcements about whether we're doing Denver or not. But I do want to do Denver if the opportunity presents itself. TwitchCon, as fun as it is, as much as I will get to see all my waifu streamer crushes, it's not going to have StarCraft there, and that's what we live and breathe, StarCraft, guys. I mean, don't get me wrong, I play a ton of other games. There's a lot of other streamers I would really like to meet and possibly try and make collaborations with and would benefit more from, blah, 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 blah. But, yo, a DreamHack's a DreamHack, and at the end of the day, those are like the sickest events. Revelation tag, gonna be able to see everything. ShoWTimE is actually really good with this. I think one of the problems we see out of a lot of Protoss players, and I'm actually gonna take a bit of a small shady shot at Koreans, is they'll cast Revelations and they get like really complacent with the oracles and lose them. One of the things I like about ShoWTimE, and we've already seen this, Mana was doing it too a little bit, where your oracles may or may not be Revelation bots, but you can then use them to build stasis traps and create horrible scenarios for your opponent throughout the map. And Nerchio, I will say, has, I think, a weakness to stasis traps. We actually saw it just now in the best of 5 we finished casting. He would walk into a lot of them a bit silly, willy-nilly, but then also in previous series. And I think there's this one game that some of you may not have seen back in the map contest, and I reference it all the friggin' time. Not because I wanted to take shots at Nerchio, but it was an example of like one of his weaknesses. And that was the stasis traps versus Neeb on Sequencer. Like I'll never forget just how much of a lead Nerchio had to lose that game. So that may be something he needs to look out for. I don't know. But for now, ShoWTimE, if he wants to get some free kills, probably doesn't want to burn the energy. Just follows the link for the time being. Hydras are already popping. Baneling Nest finished up too. Nerchio has definitely got the tools he needs to fight with. This is the 4th base out of ShoWTimE as well. Johnny Croat, one of our newest mods in chat, is now experiencing the frustration with running bets. Sometimes you put all this work in, dude, and like 4 people will bet. And then sometimes you put all this work in, and like every single person in the chat will bet. The inconsistency is very real. But yo, the force fields go down to keep the banelings out. That's actually kind of a big deal. The Zealots, of course, at the backside, they've got charged. They're ready to fight, but if they charge into the banelings head first, it's going to go badly. So Archons can soak some of the hits, and Archons, of course, have the splash damage to deal with these banelings. But he's in the wrong spot right now. Nerchio went north. He didn't continue committing to that one base. Zealots get warped in as sacrificial units. The probes are pulled away. Oh, that was such a good pull, too. That could have been devastating. The banelings are still getting okay connects, all things considered, but there's just not enough actual follow-up to the banelings. If there's more Lings and more Hydras and more surrounding going on, I think Nerchio would have continued taking this fight fairly easy, but oh man, I had a heart attack watching those probes get pulled. I'm like, please don't be stacking them on Extractor, on the Assimilator, excuse me, as so often ends up happening. Warp Prism in the main is left unattended. It's a bit unfortunate for ShoWTimE because he's now going to lose it to the Hydras. Their attack speed is pretty good, guys. Their attack speed is pretty good. Whatever happened to casting Overwatch? So there's actually some fun stories about that. If you ask, I tell you what, Maud Maja, if you ask me that again a little bit later, I will happily go into that story. There's not really much drama to it, so much as simple politics, but that's a longer story and not one for right now. Nerchio continues to press his aggression though. +2 weapons. These banelings are going to be hitting for a lot, even on units that aren't light. But for me, a lot of this lies in the Hydras. You know, they're not upgraded very well, but they've got the hits, the health points to take some of these hits. Takes out 2 of the Templar right away, actually. That's really nice. Now only 3 possible storms remain. ShoWTimE's got to be careful with this. The probes aren't going to go down. That kind of sucks for him. The Hydra count is at the bottom of a ramp, which means he's going to have the concave. But, oh no, he wasn't looking on the right side. Well, some probes died here. A lot of probes died here. 23 dead in total. Zealot run by is also going to kill a lot of the drones at the gold base and drive Nerchio home to defend it. But he kills a Nexus. He kills 24 probes. And I'm positive Nerchio's got to be satisfied with that damage. That was a really good attack. That was a really good two-pronged attack at that. He's not going to be able to save the gold, maybe. Oh my god, are you kidding me? That's at 30 health. 2 more swipes. Well, there's 3 more. Zealots aren't that well upgraded yet, but still. I guess 2 attacks would be 4 swipes. Okay, whatever. Point is, kills the base. I like that he just kind of like charges into it. It's like the charge damage that kills it. Feels good, man. I remember when charge was first added damage. I think they gave it like 16 was the initial number. And you would just watch Zealots charge into Ultras, and the Ultras would just die from body slam damage. And you're like, that's not right. I like the 8 damage. I think it adds a lot of volatility to charge, but it's so weird that it's a thing. Stasis Trap will save some of the Hydras from the storm. Also, Stasis Trap some of the Hydras, which is still a problem. Zealot's going to be on top of this gold base again as the Warp Prism is warping in from far away, but the Zealots walk in pretty close. Hydra's trying to dance around the overcharge, not going to cut it. His new Hydras are about to be released. Oh no! Takes out one of the Archons. Still kind of expensive here for Nerchio. Comes from the backside, but the storms are ready. Catches those Hydras. ShoWTimE with a hell of a defense on 2 different fronts, but he drives off Nerchio on both sides. Zergo POP, and ShoWTimE will bring the I will say bring the game back. He was in a tough spot there for a bit, but wins game number 1. It is, of course, now going to be Nerchio's map pick for game 2, and I'm going to, again, apologize for all the ad breaks, but solo casting is murdering me today with my allergies. They're like a co-op team against me. I'll see you guys soon. Oakley Dokley, welcome back, guys. We're getting into game number 2 in this best of 5 finals for the Corsair Cup Season 5 finals. Spawning at the top right side, we do have the blue Zerg player. It is none other than Nerchio. So close to gripping victory that game. Bottom left, though, is going to be his opponent, the red Protoss, none other than ShoWTimE. And again, big thank yous to both Corsair and Twitch for making all this possible. Without them, without that prize money, we wouldn't be able to work around this. And what's cool is, like, this has been a long-running series. Like, I know the Corsair Cup is only 5 seasons in for 2017, but don't forget this ran pretty much all of last year too. So I'm really glad that we've been able to establish this as a thing. However, one day, hopefully never, but one day it may actually end up running out. So again, if you guys are buying gear through Corsair, do it through our affiliate links so that they know their money advertising in StarCraft has been well spent. Now, ShoWTimE played that game pretty well. It's pretty clear that Nerchio was a little bit salty at the end of that game, sure, but I doubt he's tilted quite yet. Although he may be like the Hulk, right? Like, the secret is I'm always tilted. I don't know. He played really well for a lot of points in that game. But I guess starting to fall apart to things like those Zealot warp-ins, killing the gold multiple over and over. Can we get the Overwatch story next break? Oh, I can do it now. Sorry. I didn't want to do it during that time it was just asked during the last game because we're already like well deep into the fights. But here's the TLDR with Overwatch, guys. I know a lot of you guys are seeing like the E-League stuff pop up now, and you're hearing things about the $10 million buy-ins and like all this crazy stuff that's happening with Overwatch. There's kind of hints of that happening early on, and there's a lot of politics involved too with all the casters that were trying so hard to get in there that Zombie and I, like, we had to talk about it. And the reality was, I think if we kept at it, if we did multiple cups and we did what we do with StarCraft 2, we could have made it as like decently sized Overwatch casters, right? But then I think we would have hit the same glass ceiling, so to speak, that we've hit with StarCraft, where we're not going to be the main casters. We aren't the main casters. And not because we don't put the work in and not because we're not good enough, but we just don't live in the right location, so we don't have the good connections to people. And Overwatch was going to be so much more costly to run than StarCraft 2, not because of these crazy big E-leagues, because remember, this is several months ago when it was still fledgling and new. But if you consider StarCraft 2, you're putting $100 in for a prize pool that entertains, top 4 players you can pay out to. Overwatch, you need like a $600 prize pool to get like the same amount of viewers, thus less return on your investment, and still even that would be considered small by a lot of standards at the time, because so many people were throwing all their money into, like, all their eggs in the basket trying to make Overwatch the next thing. So it was like this almost artificial bubble that was waiting to pop right from the get-go. It didn't pop, though, because a lot of other big things like Blizzard and real sports teams jumped on it and fueled it. So that's why Overwatch has continued to, I'm going to say, thrive in air quotes, because I really don't know where it is esports-wise. I haven't been following it as closely since we got out of it, but the TLDR of it was, like, it could have been fun. And I will say I enjoyed casting it a lot, and I enjoyed playing it. I still play it almost every single day. But I think the return and the passion wasn't there. Because the thing is, like, my default game is still StarCraft. I log on and I play co-op. No matter what I'm doing, I will stop and I'll play co-op if someone wants to play co-op, you know? Overwatch, I'll be like, I'm tilting different placements. This is a bad time. I'm just going to play StarCraft instead. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. It's not the funnest story in the universe, but that is the story. The TLDR was, like, it could have been fine to keep grinding out and pursuing, but it just wasn't going to be worth the cost, as there wasn't going to be an end-game payout. And I do want to note, too, like, go back to it. Look at Gosu Gamers, right? Those guys were pulling in like 10 to 15,000 viewers per stream, and they ran out of money. They couldn't keep doing their tournaments. They dropped it. Same goes with like a lot of the guys who are doing the big casting gigs. Like, where have they gone? Have you seen them recently? I haven't. And it's not shots fired, but it's just that statement of showing how if we had continued pouring all our money and relevance into it, we would have not only killed our StarCraft side of it by losing all the funding, but we would have also just not gotten anywhere with Overwatch either. So again, I love the game to death, and I want to see great things for it. But there's about 1.5 million political reasons why we couldn't continue with it, and then there's the financial aspect of it too. But cool story over as the game starts kicking up, and this is quite a few adepts out of ShoWTimE. He's also changed things up too. No Stargate this time around. He's gone to Stargate, I think, every single game today, except for this one? Question mark. So the Dark Shrine build comes in, and it's not like Nerchio's never fought against this before, but ShoWTimE hasn't played this at all today. I don't know where he sits with it. Maybe his micro's God tier and he saved it, right? Like, oh, I didn't go this build because I wanted it to be a fair fight, but now I've been forced to go Super Saiyan in the finals. Or maybe this is just like a change-up, just because of the map. Defender's Landing can be a real pain in the ass for some players to play on. I do want to point out that he did have to double wall himself in there, stop the early attack, and that's made a long time to get the reinforcements out because they're stuck behind the pylons. That kind of sucks. Isn't Overwatch already the next big thing? Well, it's becoming the next big thing because they're really starting to pump a lot of money into it now and force it to the mainstream, so to speak. So, yeah, like I really think before E-League and these really big numbers got involved with Overwatch, I think it would not have done so good, guys. But granted, I only have like 4 or 5 years esports experience. A lot of the people doing this stuff have got real life experience plus esports experience. So this is perhaps naivety coming out of me, but this is just my assessment from afar. Wingyan says, does BaseTradeTV send replay packs to subs after any tournament? Yes, most tournaments that we run, in fact, all tournaments that we run, we send replay packs to our subscribers to. Literally hundreds of replay packs. However, there are some exceptions. Like we don't send replay packs for the Lima League or for other people's events, like WCS. So there are limitations, but things like this and the BTSL and otherwise, we love sending replay packs for. So if you're looking for some, this is definitely the best resource. Cast the most games out of anybody out there. Thank you to Ochapa86 for that Twitch Prime sub. Welcome to the Base Trade Brigade. Glad to have you on board. ShoWTimE setting up for that Archon drop, by the way. So many queens in the main. And all of them could die here. There's only about 2 transfuses available. Actually, if we're going to talk about the next big thing, I recently got clued into Rocket League. I thought it was like a casual game nobody did esports for. I don't know if you guys caught it. It had like 100,000 viewers on Twitch for like its finals. And it was actually pretty hyped to watch too. In fact, it's not even over yet. I think it was just like the start of the finals. But anyways, I gotta focus on StarCraft. The Archon drop here, drag and drop method is really good. It's getting a lot of damage done, but these Archons are so low. If he continues with this, he's gonna lose one of them. So kind of evens up the resources lost, kills a lot of Lings. 72 dead in total so far. It's actually really good trades here for ShoWTimE. But Nerchio getting really aggressive off creep with the Queens. He's gone for Swarm Hosts behind this. Holy tilt-inducing Batman. I'm jaded about this. I really don't know how well this will go. I think Swarm Hosts are really great for harassing, and we know for a fact, after watching many Koreans and North Americans flub it up, Europeans are the best at Swarm Host control, without even question. So I'm enthusiastic to see how Nerchio uses these, but I am skeptic too. They do have a 43-second cooldown after all, so like for like 20-something seconds, these are unstoppable mother truckers, and they're gonna destroy anything they get their hands on. But then for 43 seconds, just sit there, waiting, doing nothing, and not contributing at all. So he's got to launch him soon if he wants to use them. He doesn't stagger these, by the way. And ShoWTimE walks away from this. Nerchio may have also miscontrolled some of these Swarm Hosts. I don't know about that, but the Locust land, they're going to get a lot of kills. ShoWTimE is doing what he can. I'm mixing up my Protoss today. But his army gets absolutely wiped by this. However, like I said, Nerchio's on a 40-second cooldown now where he's waiting before he can even use these again. However, he's pushing forward with the Banelings. This base only has pylons to defend. And while the Swarm Host may not be available right now, the Banelings can crash through all these pylons. Who cares what kill the probes with them? Just take the buildings out. Oh, I forget what I said. He goes straight for the probes anyways. This is really bad. Big attack in the main, though, tries to distract Nerchio. Huge warpins of Zealots and the Archon / Immortal from earlier did, of course, get ferried up here, but looks like Queens and Transfuses might just be enough. Not with the new warping coming into play. Oh, what is Nerchio doing with these Swarm Hosts? They're like derping all over the place. He's move commanded these into the enemy fight so many times. He Swarm Hosted his Locust back home? What? What? Forget what I said about European control. This is Korean bottom feeder control. I'm just kidding. I'm taking unnecessary shots at Nerchio, but that was a big mistake. And he's lost several Swarm Hosts from getting in too close to melee. This was a huge advantage for Nerchio, and he kind of gives it away. He's blocking himself out on his own ramp with these Banelings. He can't even get up here to defend. Oh my god, so many things are going wrong for him as he loses total control of his main. But this wasn't the big hatchery, right? That was the third, I think you mean? Yeah, the layers over here, the infestation pits over here. So this was just like, this is the equivalent of losing a mining base. It sucks, but it's not the end of the game for him. But man, Nerchio flubbed this up. ShoWTimE, of course, is lacking army supply, and Nerchio did kill a lot of probes, and he's running back for some more damage. Lings and Swarm Hosts alike down the middle of the map. Oh, it looks like he's got a detection problem. DTs. Does he have any Overseers? Or maybe he doesn't realize DTs are a problem. He has no Overseers right now. This has kind of gone crazy. Guys, this has kind of gone crazy. I don't even know what to make of this. Well, in the meantime, sub comes in to bring me back to reality. Thank you very much. Mir1989 for the 27-month resub. Says, I bet all those windmills will keep them cool. Windmills do not work that way. Good night, Morbo! Actually, I probably should have. I didn't realize you were doing it first. It was only after the first windmill. Yo, Futurama is my favorite. I've actually been rewatching it lately, and I love how every time I see that show, there's always something else you notice that you never saw the first time around. It's such a good show. But watching chat's reaction to ShoWTimE. Can't wait to see chat's reaction to Nerchio. But reassessing here at an actual value, right? Like, okay, Nerchio, that went kind of bad. He lost a lot. Queens went down. Feels bad, man. Triple injects. What? What? Ah! But he's still investing in Swarm Hosts. What I think is really interesting about this, though, is the mutas that are coming with it, however. I don't know that the mutas are going to fight very well at all. But I do know that they're going to be able to circumvent a lot of whatever ShoWTimE's got here. Like Archons and Immortals, these are all slowing on the ground. There's no Stargate that was made this game because he went for the Robo and the Dark Shrine, so Phoenix won't be an issue. And I think the mutas will get some pretty ample damage done when it comes to harass. Speaking of harass, that Warp Prism is grass. Ugh. She drops the Archons. Good defense. We got Templar Archives coming up behind us, so maybe thinking about Storms at this point. But I don't think he's thinking about Nerchio remaking those Swarm Hosts. Like, it really is unconventional, but certainly can work, as we saw earlier. Mothership Core goes down. No, she's going to escape. This goes for the probes. Nerchio kind of going for the throat, I guess. The backbone of this is, of course, always going to be the workers. You know, the income, etc. Oh, there's a lot of probes in the main, too. As the mining ran out, kind of scattered. Ooh. Surprised he hasn't turned on a dime to kill that Warp Prism. The Archons are trailing a little bit behind, but ShoWTimE is pushing on Nerchio, maybe thinking about coming home. Spinecrawler's coming down to get ready for defense. He's got how many? He's got 9 Swarm Hosts. It's a lot of Locusts, actually. He could probably afford to stagger these. Before, I think he only had about 6, maybe 8? I don't actually remember. But it's also a hell of a lot of Banelings to go with it. So he kills the Warp Prism. No more maneuvering around. He's on 67 Banelings behind this. Spinecrawler walls are up. Queens are fully almost energized. That's a lot of transfuses locked in here. So he can afford to just micro these mutas. And by the time ShoWTimE's ready to attack, Nerchio is just going to, like, A-move and laugh his way to a complete and utter annihilation of this army. There is no way ShoWTimE's going to win this fight. If he does, I'm going to be absolutely astonished. Locusts get launched a little bit early. Maybe not so good in that regard, but 67 Banelings, folks. He actually wastes a lot of them. I'm actually now really worried for Nerchio. Forget what I said. I'm glad I didn't say I'd eat my hat, because Nerchio kind of, perhaps too many Banelings on the right side were used? I don't know. He's got a chance to use the crap out of these Spinecrawlers, though, as he buys time for the next wave of Locusts to come up. He did make some new Swarm Hosts, so he's going to have some available, but for the most part, those first 9 are all on cooldown. Mutas are slowly chipping away at the bottom right while this goes on, so no probes, but more importantly, no base. New Locust waves come out. I think what's happening is he's got these Swarm Hosts in the same hotkey as the Zergling, so he walks into the front line, and like it kind of works out now because he throws out the Locust like this, but it's clearly not the intended use. GG's can call that ShoWTimE, though. Nerchio will take the game, tying up the series now 1-1.
Alright, folks, we continue on with the best of 5 finals here for the Corsair Cup. Things are tied up now 1-1 as we get into game number 3. In the lower right side of the map, we have the blue Protoss as his map pick, ShoWTimE. And in the left, give the red Zerg player, it's Nerchio. He's just got a downright dirty victory, though, so maybe this will be inspiration to go more Swarm Hosts. I don't know, but one thing that's for certain is that Nerchio, I'm going to say this as respectfully as I can. Maybe he'll watch the bottom of the game before and have a million reasons why I'm wrong, and that's fine. But from my point of view, that was a very poorly handled game out of Nerchio. I thought there was a lot of miscontrol. That being said, he still managed to win. So credit where it's due. He did control the mutas really well, and I think that's what really started killing ShoWTimE, losing all those probes. He dodged out countless Archons. He had a Warp Prism chasing him around too. There's a lot of ways those mutas probably couldn't have worked in other scenarios, but worked really well in that game. Then the turtle, the straight up you turtle with the Spinecrawler walls. You had like 9 or 11 queens with almost full energy. The Swarm House was bailing 67. Like a lot of people chat like, oh, the way he's going up on the immortals. But the thing is, if you've got 67 bailings, you can kind of lob whatever you want, as long as it's not nothing. So Nerchio maybe plays a bit cleaner and has an easier time winning, or maybe it's the same scenario, a sloppy, crappy, but scrappy defense leading into a nice sort of bit of harassment. I don't know. I think that it is going to take undimensional gameplay though to beat somebody like ShoWTimE. Not cheesy, not all in, not weird like straight to ultra rushes or anything, but incorporating Swarm Hosts while going for more standardized mutalisks. I think it's a really cool move. And you guys have to understand, this is maybe one of the very few times I'm ever going to cast a match in StarCraft 2 where I value Nerchio as an underdog in such a weird way. Not just because he's lost to ShoWTimE multiple times in the past, but because ShoWTimE is strictly the defending champion of the Corsair Cup 3 seasons running now. So there's a lot going for him, and I'm in every way possible looking and hoping and praying for a way for Nerchio to dethrone him.
No, it's perfectly fine.
All right, so there's good and bad to this. I'm sorry about that, guys. I had Dares on the call who was supposed to warn me when things were going to go super robo mode. However, that didn't work out because mistakes were made on both our parts. However, it should be fixed now. And I've at least since last time this happened learned a way to fix it without restarting the stream. So yeah. People are begging that I look at chat. For those who are unaware, we stream on about a 3 minute delay, 2.5 minute delay, to prevent things like cheating. And like I warned everybody for the last 3 hours of casting that this might happen, and unfortunately it did. But I'm going to assume that this is working as usual right now and fiddle with it later. This is a really big common problem, unfortunately, with the Scarlet Focusrite, and nobody seems to have a solution. I have talked to several folks who know audio stuff very well. I've been through many solutions on Google, but nothing seems to fix it. And the most recent one was to increase the buffer rate, and that didn't help either, so feels bad, man. Anyways, that's a really big catch here on the drone line. Stasis traps as well all over the place. And we're going to watch Nerchio's income just absolutely plummet out, guys. This is huge. ShoWTimE actually locks down, like, he doesn't kill a bunch of workers, but he removes, I want to say, like, almost two, like, half of a mineral line each, so like one full mineral line essentially. And that income spike is heavily in ShoWTimE's favor as a result. Skype Scully's Robot Homeworld. Oh my god, can we not make memes about this? I hate you guys so much right now. Guys, I really get sensitive about this sort of stuff, okay? And I want to put on a good show for you, but I can't do it if you're all being fucking pricks. Anyways, we're moving on. And we're moving past it. And we're finally at that point where the delay is caught up. So, looks like the voice is fine, is what people are saying. Hydralis didn't come out of Nerchio, by the way. So, I guess I've been so obsessed with this issue. I wasn't, I'm going to be honest, not paying a whole lot of attention to what was going on in the game. But Nerchio's not going for anything weird. I guess Abyssal Reef's a more common map, which I guess necessitates a more common strategy. And Hydra's Lings and what is, I'm sure, eventually going to be Banlings, the choice. This is so tough to fight against, though, because it's been proven now multiple times over in 2 other series leading into this one, as well as this one. The ShoWTimE knows how to use his storms. He knows how to position his army really well. And there's so many fights, if you guys recall, like here that went bad for, like, good for Hydras on the low ground, but bad once they push into the choke. I think this map was chosen very much with a lot of these things in mind, as it was ShoWTimE's map pick after losing that last game. So Nerchio's got to be really careful, and I think playing into his clutches by going for a more standard build is not a good start. However, Nerchio's also migrating a ton of overlords down here, and I'm wondering if he's going to go for some sort of insane drop. Yes! Oh! Oh! I'm just sitting here like, you know the Ace Da emote, guys? I'm literally doing this right now. I'm pressing my cheeks together. I'm so excited to see how this is going to work. This is going to be a crazy Doom drop. It's going to be full of Hydras and Lings and fake Overlords even. Make no mistake, Nerchio absolutely made extra Overlords on purpose because he knew some of these would get shot down. So the chances of them, the right ones getting shot down are even less. This is so good. Oh, this is so good. Hey, by the way, thank you, Papa Mitch, for this 37-month resub while this goes on. But will Nerchio's tricks be enough? Tricks are something a horde does for money. They're illusions. I know, Joe. But this is actually going to catch ShoWTimE a bit off guard. He's so set with all the Templar, all the stasis traps. Everything is forward, ready to defend an attack coming from the outside, not ready to defend an attack coming from the inside. So while this is probably a more expensive version of an Nidus Worm, it still catches ShoWTimE off guard. SimCity's going to play against ShoWTimE as he tries to come back. Archons can't fit through that wall, I don't think. Meanwhile, there was an attack on the other side of the map with charge loss, but that got cleaned up pretty quickly. Only 2 drones died for it. Nerchio, of course, can pick up and leave the base. He kills the Nexus straight up. Triggers stasis traps. He's hoping to get a little bit more on this side, but big, huge warp in. Combination Adepts, combination Zealots in the main of Nerchio right now. Mother of God. This was actually a really expensive warp in for ShoWTimE, who did just lose a base, mind you all, but Nerchio takes about 12 workers loss. Not actually that worth. Continues to drop around on the other side of the map. Ooh, that actually scared the crap out of me. Thank you, Dears, for the bits. This, I guess it's not Stalkers. The funny thing is, like, because there's so much investment in Zealots, this is why this works out better than a Nidus Worm, right? Zealots can swipe and kill a Nidus Worm. Zealots cannot jump up and poke an Overlord. So Nerchio technically could drop forever as long as there's no Stalkers or Archons or anything shooting back at him. Bantlings don't have speed, and my concern is if they don't have speed, then they also don't have health. So yeah, they're popped off real extra easy by the Archons, but ShoWTimE looking elsewhere as these drops keep distracting them. Drop over here, drop over there. Big attack coming down on this base. Nerchio's starting to tear ShoWTimE apart. He's stretching them real thin, but oh, these Hydras are getting stormed on in a big, big way. Continues to press the attack. ShoWTimE's starting to run out of units, running out of army. Running out of time. David Hasselhoff, cue the music. No, that's not music. Why is that not playing it? Okay, we'll figure that out later. Feels bad, man. My soundboard has failed me, guys! More Bantlings being morphed in on the front lines directly. There's still another Storm or 2 in this, though, so these Hydras have to be careful. These are not exactly high-health Hydras. They cannot take much damage. But the overcharge snipes off a couple. The Bantlings get picked off. The Storms are good, but ShoWTimE's still bleeding out probes while this goes on. As, of course, those Hydra drops have finally been pushed off, but they did so much damage on the in-between. ShoWTimE's left with 42 probes, which is not a terrible amount. But, yo, going back to the income graph, remember how much that dipped for ShoWTimE earlier in his favor? Now it's so much in Nerchio's. High ground from the Overseer is actually pretty big, but more importantly, the detection is going to let him see these stasis traps that he's been tripping himself into. Opens the door with the gateway. That's a big concave of Hydras. There's still Storms available, of course, and attack on the left side gets stopped by those stasis traps. Yo, ShoWTimE is so sick with these stasis traps. He has caught Bantlings attacking into this base so many times now, but another stasis trap goes off. We got an Overlord dropping speed for just a little bit more speed, but still the gateways get broken, the Lings get in, probes start dying, and ShoWTimE is looking to be on the outs for this. Nerchio is just destroying him. Another Nexus is going to fall. The stasis trap unit's about to break free. I kind of forgot you could stasis trap changelings. That actually looked really weird. But that was such an important base for ShoWTimE. He's on 19 workers, 1.5 bases mining. He does, of course, have harassment and a warp prism on the other side of the map, but he's about to lose the warp prism. It goes down! And that's going to end any chance of counterattacks. I mean, I don't want to say it's GG, but guys, that's probably GG. Also, yo! My man, my coach, my mentor, my trainer, Beastie Cutie. If you guys don't know, Beastie's teaching me how to play Bio, because I'm terrible at StarCraft 2 for the caster tournament. I'm really excited for this. Hits a sub for 12 months in a row. Beastie, my man, let me send you a Partoof, please. A real-life Partoof. If you guys don't know the process for this, all you got to do is DM us on the channel after you hit 12 months. I feed that information to the bot. The bot reads your number. If it says 12 on the sub coin, or the resub train, then you will, of course, be given a form to fill out so we can mail you a Partoof in real life. But yo, GG's, get thrown down. I've said yo more times in this cast than I think I've said all year. But Nerchio will now take a 2-1 lead in the series. He has not won this out. He has not closed it out, but he is leading, and ShoWTimE is on his last life. We'll see if this game bounces back as it's his map pick once again, but a small break as we go to game 4. Thank you guys. We'll see you soon. Okay, folks, we're back, and it's game number 4. Possibly the last game in today's stream, but let's hope not. Cross your fingers for one more. I'm finally feeling like I'm not dying. My allergies have kind of subsided for these finals, and I'm having a good time. So I want that game number 5, but spawning here in the bottom left, we have the blue Zerg leading 2-1, Nerchio. Of course, he is trying to dethrone the current king of the Corsair Cups. In the top right, we have the red Protoss ShoWTimE. Todd will win the caster tournament. Yo, I'm just gonna make my prediction now, guys. If I end up being right about this, that'd be cool because I've called it months in advance. I think Yogo's gonna win the caster tournament, straight up. But I could be wrong. I think it's gonna be Yogo though. I think Todd, Roddy, Pig, Yogo, they're all the top contenders, right? But I think Yogo's gonna win it. Anyways, that's my prediction. But yeah, 2-1 in a best of 5. We're almost at the end. Of course, there's $200 on the line for first place, $100 for second. So both of these guys are walking away with money well worth their time spent in today's tournament. And hopefully they've enjoyed putting on a good show for you guys as much as I've enjoyed watching it and casting it for you. But at the end of the day, I'm not getting $100. I'm not getting $200. Feels bad, man. That's not nope, don't do it. By the way, I make this as a joke, not as an attempt to beg, as this always seems to happen. But the thing is, I think what I enjoy a lot, like, to be perfectly clear, because I like transparency, right? On a good day, we're probably making about $50 each on a cast, right? And that's from ad revenue or whatever extra little bits we get on the side. However, I don't need a lot of money. And this really, I think, I'm really glad we did the best of 69 when we did, right? I like to make jokes and pretend to be salty about it. But for those who don't know, a couple years back, we did a best of 69 with Snooten and Bunny. We raised something like $4,800 or $4,300 for them in prize money. And over the course of that whole day, including no sponsorship money from HTC or Team Liquid, we raised, I think, maybe a little over $200 total. So like $100 each for ourselves. And when I came to grips with that, I realized, like, I wasn't actually mad about that. And that was a huge awakening moment for me because it made it really easy for us to keep doing things like running these Match Arena Cups where the players are getting, like, hundreds of dollars each and we make, like, less than pennies on a day type thing, right? And I think that's a really hard attribute. I've talked to a lot of other people, and what everyone wants to talk about, their passion for StarCraft, and, like, they don't need to make money. At the end of the day, you do need to make money. It's just about whether you're happy or not with the amount of money you're making. And I'm very actually quite content with where we are. Obviously, it's better if we make more money. Like, anyone who tells you otherwise is lying. But I can live comfortably. I can pay my rent. I can buy my groceries. I'm pretty happy with what we do, to be honest. And that's all possible thanks to you guys. So again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me today on the Solo YOLO cast. And, of course, in the upcoming casts, Zombie will be back. I think today's her last day out. The exception here being she'll be flying to Toronto, I think, like a day or two before me. But we're not casting anything on those days anyways. Actually, if you want to see all the events we're doing, of course, you can always check out the top of the stream. You should actually bookmark this page. This is better than Team Liquid. This is better than any website we've ever had. At the top of the page, twitch.tv/BaseTradeTV/events, or you just click the events tab if you're watching on browser. It shows you all the events we have lined up and coming. So yeah, tomorrow's a break, which is nice. Deep breaths. But after that, we're going to be doing 4 or 5 days casting straight. And Zombie should be back for all of those. But as the Lings dart around, unfortunately, they're not going to find much. Good scouting, I guess, was a big part of the deal, however, as Nerchio did get back here and see their Dark Shrine. He knew the Robo was down, and he knows exactly what he's going to be fighting against. So, Spore Crawlers for detection. Probably a couple of extra Queens. Get that creep spread going, too. I love this, actually. He puts these tumors to connect the bases, as, again, transferring Queens off of creep is a real hard thing to do. So, making sure that you can get from the main to the third to the natural is pretty darn important. YOLO, what up, Beastie? Where are the other casters? Well, I just answered that. Zombieb's not here today. Should be back, so don't worry about it. I actually had a really fun time casting with Maynard the other night, too, even though he was exhausted and I was dying. I hope I can do some more casting with Maynard. He's fun. He's a fun guy to hang out with. And unfortunately, Zeph is busy all the freaking time. Fear Dragon has a job that's like 9 to 5, so it's kind of hard to find other people. I actually had we did some sort of exhaustion casting a little while back, me and Wardy. That was some good times too. I need to poke him and see if he wants to cast again. I did try poking him for today, but he didn't reply, so it feels bad, man. Because I thought, like, man, I'm going to die. I need a co-caster, but we made it through the solo cast, and we're almost at the end, so truly, YOLO. This is a little bit scary, that Warp Prism. It's got to watch out for the Queens as well as the Spore Crawlers. There's quite a bit to dodge here. Because the Archons can't go too deep, or they won't have I guess a getaway driver. But dragging and dropping is kind of the thing to do, and get some more lane kills for it. That creep spread, though, is accelerating through the middle of the map pretty quickly. Good thing you got those early tumors down. Got those bases connected up, too. So Archons come back in for round 2. Well, actually, I guess it's round 3, technically, but round 2 at this base. It's very awkward and uncomfortable for Nerchio, as he just can't quite deal with this. He's going for a Hydralisk, though, behind this. Not Swarm Host, not Mutus, so... Well, the Warp Prism might not be dealt with. They'll at least have army units to fight with. How much is the prize pool today? Well, you can see it on the brackets. Anytime we have a challenge bracket, guys, the prize pool is usually listed there. If you don't know how to get there, type !! brackets on chat. However, we have $400 in prizing thanks to our 2 sponsors, Corsair and Twitch. Twitch, of course, throws in $300 at the end of every month, and Corsair throws in $400 throughout the course of the month. So combined, we get to make this really awesome, cool tournament together. But we do have ShoWTimE starting to push onto the creep now, and he's going to clean up some of these tumors along the way. All of Nerchio's beautiful creep spread gone in like an instant. Feels bad, man. Get that donger erect and stretched out. I mean, that's literally what it was on the mini-map. If you couldn't see that, you're kidding yourself. Roach Warren gonna go down. That kind of sucks. Wall gonna go down. Eva Chamber gonna fall. No cancel. All kills, and ShoWTimE's already brute forcing Nerchio into a scary spot. The other people in chat noticed it as well. That's what I was waiting for. Zealots kill the hatchery over here. ShoWTimE just shreds it to bits. Force fields are choking Nerchio in and possibly going to be choking him out soon as well. Baneleys finally break free. Split the units left and right. Charge, let's dive in. And oh, they eat a lot of the Baneleys. He's got to pull this back, though. Use those for the Hydras. Oh, no. Nerchio may have just broken ShoWTimE. I thought ShoWTimE had a much better fight ready to go for him. We got some DTs coming in now, too, but this ended up killing a lot of the Zealots, a lot of the Immortals. Yikes. There is no detection worth noting, so a couple of Dark Templar could stall out Nerchio. ShoWTimE is on the brink of a pretty big attack, though. He did kill Nerchio's gold base, which definitely felt good, but Nerchio's just retaking it as we speak. Oh, excuse me, as we speak. A move commands a lot of the Hydras through the Archon, so it takes a lot of hits, but those charge lots are not numerous enough. Not with the Zerglings soaking them too with that fodder. I mean, the Zerglings at this point are just like body soakers, right? They want to eat the charge so the Hydras don't have to. But Nerchio's running out of steam, and he's got to run home with what he's got. And what he's got is certainly not very much. Oh, excuse me, guys. I need to... Well, at the very least, it's nice and cool inside thanks to my makeshift AC. I don't think I'd be surviving very well with allergies plus heat, but hey, it's nice and chilly in my room thanks to my ghetto contraption. I'll take it. I probably used like half a roll of Gorilla Tape on this stuff. I'm going to have to go get some more. Anyways, where are we? Yes. So this, unfortunately for Nerchio, didn't get the attack damage that he wanted to. ShoWTimE as well takes up a base. It's not going to be a gold like his opponents, but he's going to get the base up. A couple of pylons for overcharging and warping in. Zealot's running around the long way. They'll knock down those rocks? No, they're just rallied funny. Okay, so let's go straight to the third. Meanwhile, ShoWTimE is pushed back once again. Archon's on the front line to give me what he wants to soak the Banelings. But Nerchio has once again, like, willingly neglected Baneling speed, which I find really interesting. I don't really think the speed itself makes that much of a difference, but I really would think the 5 health does, but maybe he's done the math. Maybe an Archon Blast is still going to kill a Baneling one shot no matter what you do, so the 5 health doesn't really matter. And if that's the case, I mean, 43 damage versus biological, I can see that. I still think the 5 health of the speed is always going to be nice. But charge lots warp directly into Nerchio's natural base, aka the left testicle. Ling's fine about that 4th. Nerchio could actually probably just send like even 2 Hydras down there and would kill the base really quick, but ShoWTime's going to segment Zealots off and deal with it. Left testicle defended well, although I guess it's not really what the map looks like anymore, so I don't know if I can keep making that joke, but... Ooh, Zealots shred his defenses. Frontline attack comes in too, and the Immortals start pushing this back. Looking worse and worse for Nerchio, guys. He had an army supply lead. He still has one technically, but these Immortals, only a handful of them have had their barriers even pop. So as he keeps falling back to the overcharges, to the pylons, Warpins might save him. He gets a double kill on the Immortals though, which is really nice. DTs? No, High Templar. HTs in the back. Probes get rallied around and pulled away and run for their lives, frankly. But while Nerchio continues to focus on this base and he gets some probe kills, ShoWTimE did get this base up and running. So income is not going to be a problem for him just yet. I think for Nerchio, he's kind of split right now with goals. Like, it seems to be he wants to take on the army fight, but at the same time he wants to kill probes. Which I guess is kind of StarCraft in a nutshell if you think about it, but more exclusively to this exact scenario is what I'm referring to. And choosing to take the army fight is great, but then, of course, there's endless Warpins behind it is what it feels like. However, I think he might just finally break him this time. A lot of the Immortals have finally gone down. Very few remain. No Warpins to be had. 26 army supply. DTs, no detection. Nerchio's going to have to back away. Oh, my God. GG still gets called nonetheless, and Nerchio will take the Series 3-1, dethroning the champ and being this month's Corsair champion. The Season 5 title holder. Congratulations, Nerchio. I think after months of losing to Protoss and being super upset about it, it's about time he gets a good victory too. But against ShoWTimE of all people, super impressive. Not a bad showing out of ShoWTimE though today. He did manage to defeat 2 Zerg players leading into this, Snoot and Bly, both of which were pretty good too. But Nerchio had a chip on his shoulder for this particular matchup, no doubt about it. Good to see him come out ahead. But that's going to conclude the show today. So, because I want to just go lie down and sleep, I'm going to wrap it up as quick as I can. Thank you guys for watching today. I really appreciate it. We hit close to 3,000 viewers for a solo cast. That's self-confidence right there for me. I'll tell you what. Every time someone is like, Rivka just gets views because Zombie Grub's here and he's a terrible caster. I'm like, fuck you. I got 3,000 views solo casting. Suck my dick. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the show. It was pretty good times. Like we said, we got tomorrow off. So about 24 hours of rest, which will be nice. And then after that, we get right back into it with like 5 days casting. Then we leave for Toronto. I'll be at Gameland casting live there, which is going to be great. But Mont3 Core, I missed your sub earlier, man. I think I did, so sorry for that. 35 months. Oh shit, Ace Kate, thank you for that resub. Thank you to everybody who was a new sub today, all you Prime members. Make sure to check your inboxes a little bit later today. You will have a sub replay pack. We don't release these publicly. We only send them out, to subscribers, so you can enjoy the variety of packs that come your way in the upcoming days. But that does wrap it up. Big thank you to our sponsors for making this possible. Corsair being the name title sponsor. But of course, Twitch for helping power this up and make the monthly final really cool and awesome. I love that we can keep doing esports, and I love that Twitch is supporting us in doing so. Outside of that, follow my personal channel. You know, I ask people to follow Twitter. People don't really care about Twitter, but you guys care about Twitch because you're on Twitch. So do me a favor, twitch.tv/RIF_KING, Twitch_RiffKing, or Riff_King. I've been streaming there a lot lately. I'm actually, you know what? Here we go. We're just gonna put big fucking fat text here. It's gonna be gross. It's gonna be grody. There we go. Follow this Twitch channel, guys, please. That's my Twitch. I've been streaming there a little bit more. We're playing a lot of PUBG with Nathanius, Miss Spite, Salty Sailor, or Sailor Salty, excuse me, Panic Switch. Some of these names you've probably never heard of. Some, hopefully, you have. And they've been pretty good times. So, if you want to catch non-StarCraft 2 content and more stuff I do, I've been IRL streaming too. I took everyone for a tour around Vancouver last couple of weeks, which was kind of cool. But follow me on Twitch over there. I'd really appreciate it. I'm building up my personal channel. I haven't had time to work on it, but I finally am. And other than that, I think we're done. So follow the channel. If you're not, come back for more. I don't know what else, guys. Thanks for watching. Who are we going to host? Who do we raid? That's the real question. Oh, I'm torn. There's actually a couple of good streamers live. Okay, I'll figure this out after the commercial break. So I'm going to end the stream with ads. I'll host somebody. Please go to the channel, give them love. Thanks for watching, guys. See you 2 days from now. Have a good day. Bye.